Greetings and salutations and welcome once again to the Capeless Crusaders here at Empire's Comics Vault. My name is David Barry at Dr. Barry on varying social media platforms. To my, no, I'm going to go to my this plane left, not this plane. We have
the upper plane. I'm Amy. You can find me at iJaneURobot on varying social media. Sorry, still loading. And then down to the lower plane in the box.
Who do we have here?
This is the Azorian one, Anthony Steves.
Why are you wearing an Iron Man mask, Steves? You're wearing a mask? Well, is that what you guys do sometimes on these hot
August nights?
Monday evenings? Anyway, as always, you can find anything related to the Capeless Crusaders at thecapelesscrusaders.com. It is right down there at the bottom if you're watching this live. If you're not, let me say it one more time, thecapelesscrusaders.com. Anything you can think of, our social medias, our reviews of comics, other stuff, everything you need related to the Capeless Crusaders is on thecapelesscrusaders.com, including upcoming events. We like to talk about our next stream, the live stream, our video game streams. We also like to talk about conventions that we're going to.
We like to talk about conventions?
Conventions. And not just your typical conventions. Sometimes your comic conventions, especially ones that are near and dear to our heart, such as the California Republic Comic-Con. Ooh, yes. For those of you who are unaware, Colossus Girl Entertainment, the overarching company, who has brought us several successful cons, they have now changed the one they have in Merced. It is now called the California Republic Comic-Con. So we are going to have a little bit of a chat with Dave from Colossus Girl Entertainment and the California Republic Comic-Con. There's a lot of C's in there, a lot of repetitive sounds. And so once we get Dave on the line, Dave, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Hello, Dave.
Oh, my volume's down. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, I feel like that guy on those commercials, you know.
I thought that was going to be the question.
but you've switched sides and gone to Sprint. So Dave, thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. You know, you guys have like Christopher Lee because it's like what, like past my bedtime. I feel like goalie or something.
We are might be related to Charlemagne and or Christopher Lee. I'm not sure yet. So first off, tell us a little bit about the change and what we've got coming up for the California Republic Comic-Con.
Right. Well, as we know, last year the shows were Colossus Con.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you remember that. And we rebranded to have more of a local feel to the shows.
Mm-hmm.
So Merced is actually California now, and people have really responded well to that. And I'm really not sure if Stockton is a Comic-Con, but I think the two largest shows in the Valley are us and Stockton.
Right.
And if Stockton doesn't consider themselves a Comic-Con, which I know Mike Miller really well, but I don't know if he can. I think it's just a pop culture event. Well, if that was the case, we would officially be the biggest Comic-Con in the Valley. I mean, it's amazing this year what we have. We really expanded. You know, last year we had Gil Gerard, and we try to bring out celebrity guests that you're not going to see anywhere, and we're only going to bring one time. So we tell people, hey, if you want to see this guest, you have to come out this time because you're never going to see him again. And we had a guy that came all the way down from the Sierra Mountains last year to see Gil Gerard, and I swear the guy has like Gil Gerard on his wall with two candles on each side. I mean, he just totally reveres Gil Gerard. So I mean, if you love the guests that we have, you have to come out because you'll probably never see him again.
Right. I mean, we were hanging out with voice actors who had molded our childhoods, and we didn't even realize, like, because you associate the voice, you don't associate the face. So when we saw Michael Bell, we're like, oh, he's done some stuff, and then we started going through his massive catalog of everything that he's done, and I was like, holy, just everything, every cartoon that I watched, every video game that I played, he may or may not have been involved in a huge way, or at least in just a here or there, a voice, and it was just amazing to just, I didn't even know he was around. I never even thought about, like you were saying, it's like someone that I never really thought about seeing at a con, and then we got to hang out with him, and it was just the coolest experience.
Mm-hmm. I can totally agree with that. I mean,
right. He's probably one of the most prolific, and he's a legend in regards to voice acting, and he's just another guest that you probably will never see in the Bay Area again, and it's very difficult to get him, and it was kind of a coup that we got him to begin with, and we'd love to have him again, but he's so busy around the world that for him to come back around to our area, it'd be slim to none. So I'm glad we had him for Pleasanton.
And so I know we also, Amy got to chat with Julie Dolan.
I know, it was so exciting.
That was a fantastic a little spiel that you had. So I know Julie is going to be back this year, correct?
Right. I'm sorry if my response is a little off because it's just hard to hear you, so I'm trying my best. But Julie Doolin, when we signed the contract for her, we signed a contract where she appears in Pleasanton and Merced, and that in the contract she cannot appear anywhere in the state of California for this year. So we have her exclusively.
Nice.
And that's the beautiful thing, because if you really want to see the voice of Princess Leia, you either had to go to Pleasanton and now coming up in Merced. So if you love Star Wars, you have to come to Merced if you miss Pleasanton. I don't know if you saw the 501st and the Rebel Legion group. Mm-hmm. They gave her awards, in Pleasanton. And, she's a lovely, lovely guest, wonderful person, and probably another one of those Star Wars actors you may never see in the area again. So
yeah, no, she was the interview that Amy had with her was fantastic. It was a lot of fun.
She was absolutely lovely. She was wonderfully kind. Is there anybody that you're really excited to see for Merced?
I'm sorry, can you say it again?
Is there anyone that you're really excited to see for the Merced show?
I couldn't quite hear you, but I think you said something about guests in Merced.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Who are you most excited for in Merced?
What I'm most excited to see is Gary Lockwood. He was Dr. Poole in 2001: A Space Odyssey. Yes. He's done Star Trek, loads of stuff. He's a science fiction legend, and to get him in Merced, think about it. If you live in Merced and you've seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, that movie changed the face of science fiction for all times. And if you're, I'm an older guy, but if you're younger in your 20s or whatever, if you've never seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, you have to see it, especially if you're a filmmaker, because it revolutionized science fiction. I mean, it was way ahead of its time. I don't think there would be a Star Wars without it. I mean, it really influenced science fiction. And Gary Lockwood, he's a legend. We have Sean Kenny. He played Captain Pike in Star Trek. I'm sure you're familiar with him.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have returning as Jimmy Hunt. He's kind of like our Merced mascot. So we plan on having him like every year for the rest of his life, because he's just such a fun guy to have around. We have 2 Power Rangers this year. Allison McGinnis, who played the Pink Ranger in boy, it's late at night, I'm losing my mind. She was the Pink Ranger in Power Rangers. And then you have Steven Skyler, who was in Power Rangers Samurai. He was the Gold Ranger. And then here we have, Chris Marinette. He's our official artists for the conventions. He does a lot of our logos and our comic strips that people get free at the shows. And then a real special guest who's never even made it out to Northern California is Matt Haley, who does Wonder Woman 77 for DC Comics.
Nice.
Yeah, I was just looking up because I had never, besides the Wonder Woman 77, I had never seen any of Matt Haley's work, and then I checked him out and realized he's actually done a fair amount. He did the fan film, the Comic-Con fan film. He was involved in that, which is one of like the coolest looks at the San Diego and the Comic-Con kind of culture that I've ever seen. So that was an awesome grab for you guys. I actually think that's going to be really cool to hang out with him.
Right, and it was funny. We just kind of came in contact with each other. We just started talking, and then I said, "Hey, you want to come out to Merced?" And he just said, "Sure, why not?" And that was pretty much the extent of him coming out. And we have I don't know if you know Omar Morales. He's local. He's going to be at the show. Tubi from Villain Comics. I'm sure you're familiar with him. He's a local person. We have a lot of cosplayers this year. We have Lucky Bunny Cosplay, who they're Merced locals. Nessie Kate, and if you met Colossus Girl in Pleasanton, she'll be in Merced. And we did something a little different this year. I know that many local people are very they know the West Coast Avengers very well. Sandy Vader, Ace, that whole group. Mm-hmm. And we're having, I don't know if it's the first time, but we're having a family cosplay guest, where it's the whole family is guests. Because if you know NorCal Cap from West Coast Avengers, his whole family cosplay.
That's awesome.
So, so we're like, bring the whole family, and just so that people can dress their whole family up and take pictures with your family. It'd be just a lot of fun.
I'm looking at the image that you guys have for them right now, and it's literally he's Cap, his kid is Steve Rogers when he's in the Secret Avengers, and then his wife is Miss Marvel, and his daughter is Captain Marvel. I think that's they look great. That's gonna be awesome to see them.
It's the cutest thing ever, and. So, I think we got a really great guest lineup, but to answer your question, because I went into tangents, for me personally, my favorite to see is Gary Lockwood. And we're also offering exclusive lunch with him. So if you're a big fan of 2001: A Space Odyssey, you can sit down and have lunch with him. And also with Sean Kenny from Star Trek, you can have lunch with him. And it's going to be a very intimate, private thing with very limited people. Only 10 people are going to be able to have lunch with either Gary Lockwood or Sean Kenny. And they're not sold out yet completely, but almost. And so if you're a fan of either one of those, if you're a Star Trek fan, I mean, how often do you get to just sit down and have lunch with an actor, from Star Trek?
Right, someone who is part of the original series and helped shape, what we see as modern sci-fi. That's both those opportunities to be with pillars of the sci-fi genre. I think that's an awesome opportunity for people.
Right, I'm a little jealous of it myself because I don't get to do that. I mean. The fans get to do it. I have to run around like a chicken with my head cut off the whole day. I can't enjoy any of it.
That is the woes of being the con organizer, is you can't necessarily enjoy the con as much as the fans. It's that trade-off.
Right, and I'll tell you something is well, we really worked on this year is a lot of Comic Cons or shows, they don't have a lot of activities. Usually it's a vending hall, maybe a couple of video games, and maybe some panels. And I thought, well, with a lot of little kids, the parents like to go, shopping around, maybe see some celebrities, and the kids kind of tag along, and they're like, "Can I do something that I want to do?" Well, this year we have laser tag, so the kids can go and play laser tag, and that will be done by JRL Extreme Laser Tag. We also have a film festival. It's all day of films. We have two world premieres at the film festival, and some international films, one from Iraq and one from England. And so that'll be fun. I mean, if you go to the show, you can spend all day just watching films. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's really cool.
I urge everyone to do a little laser tag, maybe watch a film, play some video games. We're going to have a game room with loads of video games. I think we have just about every classic video game in there from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I mean, it's loaded. And if you don't want to do any of that, then we have all-day concerts.
Oh my gosh!
So we have a stage with music going on, and we have a DJ in between acts that'll be playing music, and that'll be done by DJ Lamont Walker and Photo XL. He's a local from Merced. So you can see it's just not just a vending hall and panels. It's so much going on, and that's how we wanted it, because we want people to have fun for the entire day. You know, you spend your $10. What can you do for $10? You go to McDonald's, maybe you see a movie for a couple of hours. You go to California Public Comic Con, $10. It's all day, free concert, laser tag, film. I mean, you know, I don't want to get too crazy, but you know, it's just all day fun, and you know, if you find something you don't like, let's say you're tired of laser tag, you've done that. Well, you can catch a film, or you can play games, or watch a concert. And Steven Skyler, I don't know if you've listened to his music or not. He's the Gold Ranger from Power Ranger Samurai. He's going to be performing live at the show with Stephen Constantino, who was also in Return of the Jedi. And how often do you get those two guys playing music together? So it's going to be wild.
Yeah, there is literally something for everyone, no matter what, and that's awesome that it's grown so exponentially into something that can be so much more than just. I mean, you know, we love comic book conventions and we love comic books, but there is a point where a change in scenery and a change in the type of entertainment is just exactly what you need to get you over, you know, that midday hump. after you've circled everything and you're a little hot, and it's like, oh, I can go. I mean, the Crusaders challenge anyone to a game of laser tag. I'm just gonna lay that down right now.
Please.
We will take on any cosplayer, any other podcast in some laser tag. But to know that we can also then go and enjoy, you know, different art forms, I think that's a fantastic thing that you guys are bringing together.
Right. Yeah. You know, when someone asked me, they go, you know, you have 2 shows in the Bay Area. Why can't you bring all that excitement to the Bay Area? And we can, but we wanted to do it in Merced first, because the reason why we started to do a Comic-Con in Merced was to bring something to the city. There were so many people who came up to us after the show last year, said, you know, thank you for bringing this, because there's really not much to do out here, and it's great to have something for the kids to come out here and do. And that's why we want to add in a lot of fun stuff for the children, that they really have a great time with it, just not the adults.
Yeah, and I feel like the comic conventions right now, we're at a really, like, a golden age for the Comic-Con, because we can have San Diego, we can have New York, we can have these massive events, but we can also have the Stocktons, we can have the SacCon and the Sac Anime up where we are, and we've got the California Republic Comic-Con. We got stuff out in Turlock. Like, the fact that we have so much coverage now that you can get to multiple cons a year, see different people, experience different things, and not have to spend thousands to go down and get in a hotel room and everything. You know, San Diego it's Mecca, but it's fantastic that we have all these other opportunities. So thank you for that, because we really appreciate how much work you're putting into this, because it seems like it's going to be just a super fun event.
Yeah, no, it will. And, you know, in regards to San Diego, I mean, many people would like to go. I mean, who wouldn't, you know, especially after seeing the movie Paul, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, I speak to people who've gone, and they've spent, you know, $6 to $7, $8 on going to that convention. And you know what? Let's be honest. In this day and time, economically, many people can't do that, you know. Mm-hmm. Or, well, for that kind of money, I'd rather take a month-long trip to Europe. But, you know, it's, you you want something for everyone where everyone could afford. If you can't go to San Diego, you can do the Stockton, you can do the Merced, you can do the SatCons and those things, and you still get the same spirit, same feel, just not a lot of the elbow banging,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's not going to cost you it's not going to cost you thousands of dollars to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. So, September 16th, 10 to 5, the Merced County Fairgrounds. Did I get all that right?
That's right. And I also heard Marina told me you guys are now the official podcast of Merced.
We are representing the Valley in that instance.
Nice. Well, you guys. I told out in Stockton. It's funny. Curtis is my favorite because because you walked right past me, and Curtis, as soon as he saw me, he's all like, "Hey, Dave, how's it going?" And we got to talking, and I just lost my story, what I was going to say, but but you got me so excited. But no, I love Curtis and you guys. I told him, back to where I was going with this. What I told him is, I've listened to a lot of podcasts. I've been on a lot of podcasts. I've even done my own podcast, way back when. And I have to tell you this, and I'm not just saying it to say it. You guys are the best podcasts I've listened to. You guys, are visual as well, just not audio. And that is amazing because not a lot of podcasts do that. Usually it's just audio. So, and I told Curtis that I thought you guys were the best, and I'm glad you guys are there, and you guys do great coverage. So,
well, first off, thank you for the praise. Second, my bad. I didn't know until after the fact. I didn't even realize you were there, and then Curtis was like, "Oh yeah, Dave was here," and I was just like, I was overwhelmed by StocktonCon this year. My eyes glazed over, and I'm like, there's people here, apparently. So thank you for the praise, and thank you for having us. We're really looking forward to seeing you guys.
Yes, I like watching you guys when you have your show, so it's a lot of fun. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you. So
we
will see you and your entire crew. 18 days,
18.
13 hours. I'm on your website right now looking at the timer clicking down. And there's free parking. I think that's huge that it says free parking. I think that's a really big deal for a lot of people who go to cons.
Yeah. Yeah, and let me mention one more thing because, we had one fault last year, and that was food. People had to go off grounds to get food. They had to walk 5 blocks to get food. Well, I will tell you, this year we have Chef Anelli's. They're sponsoring the show, catering.
Nice.
Snack Coup is going to be there. Nathan's Hot Dogs, they're doing a charity with Wish Upon a Star. We have Kettletopia, Wild Game Beef Jerky, Rita's and Outwater, and 2 Angry Guys serving burgers. So there's going to be so much food for people, they're going to forget all about not having food last year.
It definitely, all of the bases have been covered. I'm really looking forward to this event.
Oh my god!
So
excellent.
Dave,
well, I can't wait to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. Apologies, we know it's late. We're all getting sleepy, but we appreciate you taking the time to chat with us.
Well, thanks for having me again, and I hope to come on again. And I'm sorry for talking too much. I apologize for that.
The more information, the better we can get people excited for this con. So we will see you in 18 days, Dave.
All right, and you guys have a good night, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good, man. Take it easy.
Bye, Dave.
Take it easy. All right, bye.
I know he can't see me, but I'm going to wave anyway.
We're all waving. So, hey, Steve, are you still there?
Our friend in the box.
Yeah, you still there?
Are you in the box?
Bud.
He's not there? I don't see him.
You can kind of see his face maybe right here. You could kind of just... there he is. He's the man in the box, buried in his... Not going to say the next word. So, we already had that nice conversation with Dave. So, on this episode, besides that, we are still going to go around the horn. We're going to talk about some comic books. We do have a little bit of news. If we get a Steve's back out of his box and talk to the news monkey, he's telling you he has news stories. And then, our main topic for this evening, it is the 100th birthday of the King.
Yep.
Jack Kirby,
Oh, yes.
the man, the myth, the legend. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. So, as always, when we're in a comic book store and we're surrounded by comic books, we like to go round the horn.
Look at him!
He's back. God.
Yes!
All hail the returning whatever.
He got
I
out the
felt
box.
I felt like Zod stuck in that Phantom Zone.
Well,
There was a lot of yelling. We couldn't hear anything, but it was great to see you just up on there, like.
We're the official podcast.
Yes.
That's
Are you
outstanding.
Oh, I thought you were gonna cry.
so we're going to go around the horn. And when we go around the horn, we go around the table in a circular fashion, except for the fact that we no longer have a circular table.
Oh.
Unless we're at the Steve's Manor. He's at a circular table,
True.
I believe.
I am.
So you can go around the horn, locally. So when we go around the horn, we talk about what comic books we've been reading this week. I'm going to start us off because I'm selfish.
You always
Selfish.
Selfish man, because I caught up
are. Finally.
on two things.
Finally.
The greatest comic books being printed currently. My favorites, starting off with Saga number 45. I am caught up
Finally.
up until this week because a new issue comes out this week.
I know, but that's okay. I'm so proud of you right now.
So it's hard to say specifics about the book because I burned through the last 20-something issues because I was behind. And I am now current. It's a really a dark topic currently going on in the book, dealing with the loss of an unborn child. However, in this story, when you have a miscarriage and you're carrying a creature who can use magic, you get that magic as long as you have the dead fetus inside you.
Basically,
it's
reabsorbing the magic.
Yeah, it's kind of dark, but it just makes, of course, for an amazing story. However, it is basically killing our heroine due to the fact that she has this dead magical fetus inside her. It's really sad, but at the same time, just so good. Like you
But
can't.
it's also been months that Alana's had
Yeah,
a baby in there.
just
Also,
running around.
I have Saga.
You
in
get
my
Saga right there.
Saga
So
list.
yeah, so Saga 45. I am finally caught up. It is not yet disappointed me. This book has not disappointed me at all. I'm just incredibly happy with it. I don't want it to go anywhere. Speaking of books that might be going somewhere though,
No.
the other series that I caught up on, East of West number 34. Ooh.
With friend of the show?
Friend of the show, Nick Dragata.
Hey, Nick.
Soon to be on the show, Nick Dragata, our close personal friend. We shook hands. We met. It was lovely. He gave me a book.
did.
So, East of West number 34. Again, I was 15 issues back, caught up in it. The artwork, outstanding. The writing, outstanding. We're going to be talking more about Hickman later on. But East of West, it's all coming to a head. It's this massive war that has been brewing, and we've seen little bits of it. Certain nations getting their bells rung a little bit, but now it appears we do have all-out war as the Confederacy has officially bombed the House of Mao, killing the majority of their best soldiers. So now the House of Mao is waving the black flag, and they are marching to war. It is so good. East of West, Saga for the longest time was my number one. Saga is number 2 right now. It's great. It's amazing. East of West is the best book being printed today. Hands down, bar none. Does not matter the publisher. Does not matter anything. East of West is the best book out.
According to Dr. Berry.
According to the only person whose opinion you should listen to right now, because I'm talking, me. So now you're going to listen to other. Now you're going to get other opinions that you used to listen to. So Amy, what have you been reading?
So I read lots of things. If you had a chance to stop on the Instagram of Empire's Comics Vault, where we currently are located, I do a read segment every Monday. So my first read, because I literally blew through all that, is The Beauty. And I read all the way up until, oh goodness gracious, I think they're up to issue 17.
Yes, that sounds right.
And so it is fantastic. Basic premise, Beauty has become an STD. And so if you get your freak on with somebody who is extra pretty, you can catch it. But there's a catch in catching your STDs. And it's not just itchy, it's
Or scratchy.
I know. And they fight. You die in a very gruesome way after a period of time for being pretty. Steve's, don't be pretty. Don't.
What are you reading?
It was in the Crusader library.
It's an amazing story.
It's in the library.
It's
I got
very
keys
well
to the
done.
library finally, and I wandered in there, and it was in there, and it's really well done.
It's dangerous.
It's very dangerous. But I totally recommend the first arc, which is the first volume. Go, do it. Beautiful, cray-cray, mature content. Nobody under the age of...
Yeah. No chitlins.
No chitlins. But the next book that I read...
For chitlins.
Can be for chitlins.
Yeah.
It's an all-ages book. I read number 2 of Moonstruck by Grace Ellis and Shay. I think her name's Beagle. But Grace Ellis also did Goldie Vance. And so this is the long-awaited number 2. Our beautiful barista / werewolf is finally taking out her love interest on a date. And they're going to go to a magic show. And her best friend / third wheel centaur named Chet decides to come along. Adorable things ensue, and you'd be like, hey, why do you need to go to a magic show when there's magical and mythical creatures all over the place and magic's being used in your everyday? You're going to find out.
Oh.
Also, there's a big, oh snap, cliffhanger where we actually should be concerned about one of our main characters.
Oh, snap.
And you haven't read it yet.
I'm so excited.
It is awesome. It's beautiful. It's beautifully drawn. Kate Leth did half of this book in the art. You can totally tell if you know Kate Leth.
Yeah.
Hi, boss Valkyrie lady. I love you. Okay, so yeah, that's what I read, and I read a lot more than that, but that's the stuff that I can remember right now, and that's what I have graphics for. So, Man in the Box.
Devs.
Oh, well, you see, it burns when I pee. I got a case of the beauty.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
that's
That's not
beauty.
what it is, but that's okay.
That's not how it works.
That's
not how it works.
That's the clap.
And you can't get beat.
Oh. Whoopsie. Well, I read something kind of basic, but entertaining. It's from the world of DC. It was Green Arrow 29.
Ooh.
He teams up with the Dark Knight.
What? Wait, is this the metal tie-in?
No.
Oh, that's tomorrow.
No, not a Mel tie-in. No, it's Green Arrow is going cross country. The vicious organization he discovered, Ninth Circle, he's learned that they're not just in Star City, they're nationwide.
Uh-oh.
So Ollie, who's been set up for murder, is going across country. Oh yeah, they messed him up. He's now in Gotham. And he believes the Ninth Circle is connected to the Court of Owls.
Yes!
Oh, you called that. You totally called that they're basically the equivalent of the Court of Owls, so that they would be tied to them.
I like the court.
Good job.
I like the court.
Thank you. There is a fantastic image. First, before that image I'm going to talk about, it shows Oliver undercover at this Gotham rich boy function, and while he's playing the Playboy Oliver Queen, he's narrating how Bruce never really was that playboy. He's pretended, but he's never lived that life like Oliver did. Bruce has put on a facade, and Bruce has always been the Bat. And there's this panel they show of while Oliver's talking and Batman going over the city. And at one point, when the court is meeting, they have all the Talons there. The Talons there, they're henchmen. So they're given orders to kill the poor because the poor are a bane on society. So all the Talons leave, but one stays there. And that one was Ollie. And that next panel that I just sent is an amazing image. It's Oliver taking off the Talon costume, and I'm here to hunt, I think is what he says there. And at the same time, the very next panel is Batman saving a poor person on the street from being killed by the Talons.
Oh, wow.
There it is right there. So they disagree with each other because Oliver is starting to lose hope in humanity, and he's considering killing some of these guys. And Bruce talks him back. He's losing faith in humanity, and Bruce puts it back in him. So it was a really good story.
You know what? You may have actually just sold me on Green Arrow because I have not been reading it.
Sound like I want to read it now.
That sounds really good. I'm really
This Green Arrow issue that started with Rebirth, I've enjoyed it. And right now that he's on the run and going cross country hunting Ninth Circle, I'm enjoying it very much.
nice.
So we know it's the 9th circle and not the nth circle.
Oh.
Ooh, correct.
Oh. Weird. Now we're just making connections just because it's like Scott, friend of the show, Scott Snyder, follows us on Twitter.
Hi, Scott.
We're just conspiracy theories out the wazoo.
We really want to know.
So now that we always want to know things. We always want to know new things. Sometimes that means we want to know some news. So with Steve's, I know you're not here, but is the news monkey with you? Is he hanging out over in?
He didn't come home with me.
Monkey. Oh.
Oh, jeez.
So apparently
Monkey.
he's not a fan of Galt. That's what we just learned. Or
I didn't.
Steve's needs to stop calling his children news monkeys. I don't know. It could
I
be one of
paid
the
for
two.
your gas.
Oh,
okay. See, I knew somebody had the car.
Did he drive the van?
Oh.
He did drive the van.
The van was supposed to be here.
Supposed to be here.
Oh, jeez.
Well, Steve,
Monkey.
once you calm down the monkey, let's give us some news stories if you got them.
If he gave you any.
The bottle you like, it's in the fridge. Oh, I'm afraid. So, first up, in our
man.
news segment, CW and Hulu, after separating a year ago, are back together.
Oh, is this TMZ or is this Crusaders news?
Shenanigans on those.
That's right. Dan Wickline from over at Bleeding Cool reporting that all of the CW shows will be on Hulu, live streaming, including the DC Universe.
All
They will
of
all be
them?
there.
All.
All of them.
Smallville?
Well, oh, hey.
What?
Arrowverse. I apologize.
I wanted small.
The Arrows and the Flashes and the Supergirls and the Legends. Ooh, maybe Constantine?
Ooh.
We'll see.
I'd be down with that, especially
That'd
if it's
be great.
renewed.
Come on. You know. Do it.
So there you have it. To our DC fans who watch CW, they'll be on Hulu. Our next story, the bottle is not empty. Look under the shelf. There it is.
No.
Stop it.
This is why we don't let him take home the monkey, man.
Yeah. Apparently the news monkey is not good for traveling. We should
You're
not be
sleeping with Indiana.
We should not be sending the news monkey home with you.
Is Indiana going to be safe?
I don't know. On my second story, on kind of a sad note, this past weekend, legendary horror director Tobe Hooper passed away at the age of 74. Tobe Hooper, of course, became famous for directing Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a movie that cost only $300,000, made him a famous horror name. He went on to do Poltergeist, written by Steven Spielberg, and Salem's Lot, the Stephen King novel. And those of you who would interested in these Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there are Texas Chainsaw comic books.
Oh, that's how you're tying all these things together now.
Starting in, you got it, you know it. The other producer, the one on the ones and twos, told me to find a way to connect it.
Yay! Look at that. That's good.
So starting off at North Star Comics, Topps Comics, Avatar Press, it eventually ended up under the DC umbrella at Wildstorm Comics, the last one coming out in 2008. But there's about 17 years of Texas Chainsaw Comics, all because of Tobe Hooper's amazing classic from 1974. So there you have it. Tobe Hooper, rest in peace, age 74. And lastly, real paper.
It says Captain Marvel.
What?
The monkey writes really big.
David Sandberg, the director who just finished doing Annabelle, is now directing, of course, Shazam. And he is listening to his fans. He's been saying that he's getting a lot of tweets that fans hope he stays true to the comics, that they hope he does this and not that. And he says he wants to be faithful, but it's a lot of pressure staying true to it. So I'm going to make it easy for him.
Uh-oh.
It's going to be really easy as I drop my microphone. I got your Shazam right here. It's that simple. I'm going to go personal here. Monkey? No. We're done with the news. I'm going to save you money, David. You're not going to go shell out money for a John Cena. No. You're not going to shell it out for a Channing Tatum. No. Look at me. I'll do it for $10. Okay? $10. All right? I will be Shazam.
And you're non-union.
The sooner... I'm non-union. Yeah. The sooner you sign me, the quicker I get on that Dwayne Johnson workout, and I'll be in Shazam mode by the time you're filming.
You'll be in Shazam
And by the
mode?
way, I'd eventually fight Black Adam, which is Dwayne Johnson. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Sandberg. Hashtag make a Steve's Shazam.
Again.
I keep dropping the mic.
It's because
and I'm so excited.
That's
that
the
I'm
point you're trying to make.
so
You're dropping the mic to Sandberg,
Literally.
being like, "Yo, make a Steve's Shazam."
Hashtag.
At the Azorian one.
Hashtag make
At the Capeless Crusaders.
Make mine a Steve's. Is the
Make
the
mine
hashtag.
Steve's. I like that
Yeah.
one. It's not
Look at me.
hashtag we stand with the Steves.
Look. The corny smile with the eyebrow up.
Yeah,
Shazam.
man, you got it. Shazam. You look perfect for the role. Here's to hoping.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you.
So,
That concludes News Moment with the Azorian one, Anthony and Steves.
Send back the monkey.
Monkey, back to Sacramento with you. Back to you, Barry.
thanks, and Amy. There it is.
And Amy.
And name. Thanks, buddy.
Topped off his glass of whatever the monkey's drinking.
Make sure he doesn't crash the van this time,
Yeah.
please.
We can't
was-
pay for any more repairs on the
No,
van.
Wait,
there
that's
were
my-
so many
that's-
dents last time.
He's taking my car. That's
Oh.
my car engine.
Go, monkey, go. Try faster.
The monkey's gonna roll up in the tumbler here in a little bit. So,
We're going for ice cream.
like I said earlier, today is a great day, also a sad day, of course, because today would have been the 100th birthday of the legendary comic artist and creator who was Jack the King Kirby. So today we're gonna talk a little bit about him because first off, for those of you unaware of who Jack Kirby was,
That's a fairly
if
good representation.
if you were living under a rock for the last, 60 years,
Or you just don't have access to the internet.
Or you
you're-
were frozen in ice.
Yeah. Or you're trapped in another universe because of a Tesseract.
yes,
Gotcha.
all of those things, though the more possible one is that you're living under a rock.
Or
So,
you're frozen in ice.
Jack Kirby created and or co-created, at this point, the total is 324 comic book characters. Think about that.
That's it?
324.
Hey, you in the box.
Uh,
Shush.
Some of which you may have heard of before. If you're watching live or if you're watching on YouTube, you see that little picture we've got there. That's just a handful of the characters
That's just the
that
Fantastic
he's
Four.
created. So I'm just going to go down a couple of them. Alphabetical order. No, I'm not going to choose any preference here.
Uh-huh.
But we got people like Ant-Man,
Yeah.
Hank
Amen.
Pym, a.k.a. Ant-Man. The Avengers. Yes,
All
of the
of the
Avengers.
Avengers.
Let's see. We got Beast,
Yep.
Cyclops, Black Panther,
Not Blob.
Black Bolt, Bucky Barnes, Captain America,
America.
Peggy and
What?
Sharon Carter,
Big, all my Carters.
all of the Celestials, Cyclops. I already said him. I think he created the Daily Bugle.
He is.
The entire Daily Bugle
Wait,
was
is-
him.
Is he J. Jonah?
He
J-
basically is J. Jonah Jameson. Just I think he was nicer. Devil Dinosaur,
Yep. Which means Moon Boy.
Doctor Doom,
Dum Dum Dugan.
Dum Dum Dugan,
Dugan and the Helicomanus.
Enchantress, Etrigan the Demon.
Wait,
The
Etrigan?
Fantastic Four, yeah, the rhyming demon.
Shush.
I mean, it just, and I've only gotten to the F's.
We didn't even talk about Fing Fang Boom.
Fing Fang Foom, Fantastic Four, Hulk, the Hulk, X-Men, Iceman, all of them. It just goes on.
Scarlet
Juggernaut.
Witch.
I'm starting
Scarlet
to
Witch,
annoy myself
Magneto.
because I won't stop. But he was just Lockjaw, the New Gods, all of the New Gods,
Medusa.
Darkseid, all of the
I'm getting dizzy.
Inhumans. Yeah, right.
keeps going.
Orion, the Manhunters, Man Beast. That's only the first
Forager.
page. If I keep going, Marvel Boy, Maximus, Miracle Man,
MODOK. Wait,
Mr. Miracle.
Mr. Miracle, what?
Ooh, who we might talk about. Like I said, all of the new gods. Odin,
Yeah.
the Allfather, Thor.
Hela, Punisher. Oh, that's Galactus.
Yeah, but Red Skull,
Yes.
Sandman,
Yes.
Scarlet Witch,
Ronan the Accuser.
Professor X, Uatu the Watcher.
That's right, the Watcher. And Adam Warlock,
I
too.
just-
Wait, was he Thanos, too? Right?
No.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was not.
Who was Thanos?
Piper's gonna hate me. I can't remember his name right now.
This is what happens when Pepper
He's in
leaves.
Australia. It's fine.
Yes,
Starlin. Jim Starlin. Hey!
The
Way
Thing,
to go, Kurt.
T'Chaka, Toad. I'm gonna stop there. That was probably like
Keeps going.
it keeps going. The man is credited with creating
He is the king for a reason.
the majority of the Marvel universe. Between him and Stan Lee, it basically gave us the modern what's the word I'm looking for? Just the
Equivalent.
the blueprint for comics as a whole. Just every universe was basically set up substantially with Jack Kirby. Steve's, I see you have both Captain America and Iron Man. How are those fitting on your face right now? How's that? You comfortable?
Kind of sweaty.
Yeah, that makes two of us, man. I'm kind of sweaty myself. So, first off, do we have any favorite Jack Kirby characters? Because it's it's not hard. He sort of made
Everything.
He didn't have quite as much influence. He had a huge influence on DC, not as much because he was not there. He started his career with Marvel. But Amy,
I had my hand up and everything, you guys, for the audio, because you guys can't see my hand.
Yes, so
but I've had it up literally since he asked about
Amy,
favorite characters.
Favorite character from the King Jack Kirby. Go.
Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter?
It's always been Peggy.
It's always been Peggy?
Well, it's between Peggy and either Mr. Miracle or, no, it's usually just Peggy. Or Peggy.
Right? Now you're playing this game. Because you're also, Scarlet Witch, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man.
It's basically
Iron
everybody.
Man.
That's the box. The box likes the Iron Man.
Okay, so Steve, what about you? Favorite Jack Kirby creation? Oh, like I had to ask. There it is. Tony Stark, a.k.a. Iron Man.
Isn't it Shoot to Thrill? Are we supposed to be...
That's the sound. We don't have that song queued up or the rights to it.
Did he do Daredevil as well?
No.
Oh.
There are just a handful of characters that he
small handful.
did not create. He was not involved with Spider-Man. That was Ditko. And I believe Ditko was also Daredevil too.
Okay.
So I still just the credit that the man has, and not just the characters that he created, but also the way he changed art, the way we saw the way he there's a term for it. It's called the Kirby crackle. The Kirby crackle,
Ooh.
which is
Is it that really cool thing that you see with the energy?
Exactly. When he shows energy, when he shows light, the way he uses negative space to define the energy, that is a staple of his art style. And fun fact from his grandson, the original Kirby crackle was caused by cigar ash. Because he always smoked cigars, and he smoked cigars while he was doing it, and the cigar ash getting on the paper, that's actually how he made the Kirby crackle.
Other random fun fact, there is a nerd band called Kirby Crackle.
Yeah, there is.
I like them.
So it's he didn't just revolutionize by helping create these characters. He also just revolutionized comic art as a medium and in general. I personally, as far as his creations go, some of my favorite characters are in there, like Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
But while Captain America is one of my favorite comic book characters, I wouldn't also classify him as my favorite Jack Kirby creation because I personally love
Truly,
madly, deeply, the insane being known as Darkseid.
Oh,
Darkseid is one of my favorite comic book
I
characters.
didn't see that coming out of you at all.
I just love Darkseid so much. I love every time the DC universe has a tangle with him. Even when I'm not following DC, I will get involved if Darkseid's involved. The Darkseid Wars, I had no idea what was going on up until then, but I still read the Darkseid Wars because I love Darkseid.
How do you feel about Grail?
What?
His daughter.
She's fine.
Yeah, that answered all my questions
Yeah,
right there.
I mean, it's not. She's a good character. Like the stuff she did was cool. The way she brought him back was cool. But I think it's one of those things where since I'm not really invested in the rest of the universe, I'm kind of like, nah, I just like Darkseid. Like I'm just all about Darkseid. He's my man. He's my main man.
He's your Boothang?
He's my Boothang. So both Marvel and DC have been doing a lot to pay tribute.
Wait. Oh, we already said
Yeah,
his.
we already said his. He had a mask and everything. So we already there it is. We already talked about our favorite characters, but the DC and Marvel have both been paying homage to Jack Kirby because he spent time with both companies, despite legal issues with his family and himself and Marvel. Hopefully, most of that has since
gone
away-ish. But both companies are putting out a lot of stuff. Amy, you had mentioned the
True Believers.
The True Believers. Yes.
So Marvel has started printing out the first issue of a lot of Kirby's original books. So Devil Dinosaur, Inhumans, Captain America. Those are the first ones that I could remember right off the top of my head.
I think they did Black Panther too.
And Black Panther. Oh, they did do Black Panther. That's right. And there's another one too I'm missing. Or not Groot. He didn't do Groot. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
do Groot.
he created Groot.
He did Groot.
Yeah, as a giant monster.
Wow.
He was a huge giant tree monster from like the
not
last
a Guardian.
unicorn style. Not
Yeah.
a Guardian. Last unicorn. Yeah, and as Steve knows what I'm talking about. But so they're all for $1, which is great. It's a wonderful place that I like to encourage people who are looking for something old and new at the same time to get in on the ground floor and learn about their characters. Like Groot, the reason he only says I am Groot now is because of a degenerative disease that his vocal cords shrink and he will become mute at some point.
Oh, it's got sadder.
Yeah, there you go.
That's kind of sad, but you wouldn't know that unless you were reading the original book.
Exactly. When we also Marvel was doing some homage covers. They were doing variant
A
covers.
lot of them.
We had a Defenders cover that actually had the Eternals on it. The Eternals, also a really cool, underrated Kirby creation. And then we also have DC doing these DC specials. So I actually really like this because it's not just like I love that Marvel's reprinting and showing these classic characters, but DC is actually making new-ish stories. They're handing the reins over to these creators, and they say, "Hey, if you were Kirby, how would you do this?" They've done it for the Sandman. They did it for Manhunter.
And now.
And we got an Etrigan. There was an Etrigan story in there.
I love Etrigan.
He's so good. And so they had a lot of some of those were actually like classic stories retold, like classic Kirby stories, and other ones were new takes on old characters. Because a lot of what you saw today, if you were on social media, which we all are all the time. A lot of comic creators were, they were drawing their favorite characters. They were paying tribute. We know some great local artists who are just super, they nail Kirby's art style in a lot of ways when they want to. Sean Miller, friend of the show, Kid Sherlock, his Kirby stuff is great. Oh my God, I have it on my local art wall. It's so good. But I saw a couple things, and I actually really appreciated that some people did this. Like Robert Kirkman, creator of The Walking Dead, creator of Invincible. He went on to social media and he said that Kirby, all Kirby did was create new. All he did was break the mold, and what he would want us to do today is to not just recreate his characters, not just pay tribute, but to create something new in his honor, change the industry in a way that he would. Which I don't know if that's physically possible at this point. To affect the industry in a way that Jack Kirby did, that's like saying, hey, can we get another Spider-Man out of Stan Lee? Can he make another character that's as groundbreaking or as important as Spider-Man? I don't know if that's possible. But the
tall order. It's
a tall order indeed. But the idea that Jack Kirby affected the comic industry so much, and that every character or every creator should aspire to be, a quarter, a 13th, a minuscule portion of what he was, is something that everyone, even if you're not, if you're not an artist, if you're a writer, if you're just involved in comics in other ways through backdoor ways like us, we should all
backdoor ways.
Well, I mean, I'm, backdoor, whatever, Twitter.
We work in comics.
Yeah, but we don't sell or do we sell? We don't make them, but we do drive them, so we're important too. So basically, that's all I have about Jack the King Kirby. Those are my fondest thoughts about him.
I would just like to shoehorn this in with that while DC is doing specials, there's a great new run of Mr. Miracle that's just started.
Ooh.
And we might be reviewing it at a later date.
What?
Well, so we're gonna once we get the volume, the full volume. I think we're gonna do a review because it is gonna be 12 issues.
I'm so excited.
Steve's, have you read it the other day, right?
Yes.
What did you think of it?
Interesting.
Yeah.
The story did not expect that, and so I don't want to say too much right now. But the angle they took. Like, okay.
Well, do you know about Mr. Miracle to begin with?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, see,
nothing about him.
So having no background, it's an interesting take. But especially if you do have a background, if you know who Mr. Miracle is, it's really interesting to see because in a lot of ways he's not
the same Mr. Miracle.
He's not the same Mr. Miracle, but he's also not so different. You know, he's still got the same outfit, same relationships. It's being done by, of course, Tom King, who's just
buddy.
His run on Batman, Vision. Sheriff of Babylon. Just the man is just knocking it out of the park, and Mr. Miracle has so far impressed, and it's only had one issue, and I think it so far has paid tribute to the classic, but it's also in the way that it's sticking to the classic story, but in other ways it's so different that I'm really excited for where it's going to go from here.
I can agree with that 100%.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So with that, we're gonna get out of here because it's hot, it's late.
I need sleep.
We got to do some stuff and
prepping for new comic book day.
And we got to do other things. And Steve's needs to go track down his car stolen by a raging monkey.
That bastard! I swear.
Oh Jesus!
Language.
What?
No, he was talking about Jon Snow. No spoilers. So.
I'm sorry, did Amy just say language?
Oh, there. in your Iron Man. There it is.
Man wearing the bat shirt.
As always, first off, thanks to Dave Haworth from Colossus Girl Entertainment and the California Republic Comic Con. We will see you guys there. If you are looking for anything related to the Capeless Crusaders, you can track down all of that at thecapelesscrusaders.com. It has all of our social media, our episodes, our calendar, our contact us page. Scott Snyder used the contact us page. You can too. So as always, my name is David Barry at Dr. Barry on varying social media platforms. Check us out on Twitch. We're on Twitch now consistently. Curtis is on there. I'm on there. I'm going to review comic books. I'm going to play some games. We're trying to do like a 24-hour stream for charity. It's
Extra
gonna be
life.
Awesome if we can get that all together. So to my left, we have.
Oh, in this real time, I'm Amy. You can find me at iJaneURobot on all of the social media that I can muster. And to the box.
Remember, #make a Steve's Shazam. You're welcome. This is the Azorian one, Anthony and Steve's.
Oh, yeah, that you're welcome. That was great.
You're welcome.
So, for the Capeless Crusaders, for Curtis Fisher at Calm Down Warning at Existential Romeo, and Thomas Pet Borisuth, a.k.a. Tall, Dark, Not Ugly, down
everything
in L.A. We are
everything.
the
And the Mad
Capeless
Piper.
Crusaders and the Mad Piper in Australia. Good night.